Okay, it's 7 o'clock. Let's start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's a recording. Yeah.
Okay, this is one of the very few times in my life when I really need a microphone, so doesn't usually happen. We're going to be following the rules and procedures approved by this board on January 3rd of 2024. Please silence all your electronic devices, your watches, your phones, your whatever else you may have. The emergency exit's over here, as well as when you come in. Just if anything happens, just follow Ron. He'll be the first one out. So we'll go that way. There's a sign-in sheet. If you haven't signed in, please sign in. There's agendas over there. Okay, I think that's all the administrative stuff. Oh, talk to you about microphones again. Excuse me. I have just these mics on right now. When you get ready to talk in the audience, I'll turn on the mics in there. Remember, when I turn those on, it records every single conversation out there. So if somebody's talking and you're doing a sidebar conversation, it's going to be recorded forever on YouTube. So just remember that. Okay, with that, first item on the agenda is to approve the meeting minutes of June 19th, 2024. Everybody got a chance to review? Any changes? I have a motion to approve. Moved by Doug, seconded by Adrian. Any other comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, minutes are approved. Legal notices were published June 30th in the Daily Messenger for PB 0702-24 and PB 703-. First item up is a continued re-subdivision public hearing on the PB 0702-23 preliminary 3-lot subdivision on behalf of the Fowler Family Trust. Jim, come on up and tell us what's going on. I know you got some information from Jim Baker. What else going on?
I was gonna say, it seems like the town's concerned federal government, they have it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they did.
Well, that's good for a change.
That's came out, just the way federal government said they would.
Very good. Yep.
A 5C is a definitely buildable lot.
Perfect. Okay, we have a resolution tonight to table this and begin the part 2 and 3 on the seeker. You guys assume you're okay with that? No changes to the resolution? Okay, let's turn it over to staff. Ron.
Yeah, I'm gonna enter into the record authorization from APD Engineering to allow the Venezia Associates to use the drawings that they had prepared previously. And this was sent to me by your attorney, Jared, today. So that answers that question that Jared was
Very good.
working on. I also did notice that you have done a great job of clearing both lots A and B over there of your project.
It was a little more than the neighbors expected.
It opens up a lot of things that perhaps weren't visible before. And I thank you for doing that. I'm ready to say that we have not received any additional information from any of the public hearing participants, and that we are ready to move forward with seeker on this one.
Okay, we'll find out when we get ready here in a little bit. It's still a public hearing. Augie.
I have nothing additional to add to Ron's report.
Tim.
I am good with it.
Lance.
I'm good with it as well.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Anyone here to speak for or against the Fowler Family Trust application? Anyone here to speak for or against the Fowler Family Trust application?
Work.
Okay, we'll put that on the record, Jim. Anybody online want to speak for or against this application? One more time, online, anybody here to speak for or against the application? With that, we turn it over to the board, because we're going to keep the public hearing open until we get the seeker and review the seeker.
Right.
So, Tim. Tim?
I'm good.
It's table and we're just.
Continuation, I'm sorry. It's continuation.
You're adjourning public hearing tonight
Mhm.
and continue.
Well, it's because it says here that the planning board does hereby move to table further deliberations and any above rest here in action and to prepare the drafts of the part 2 and 3 of the state environmental quality assessment forms. So I have nothing either. So with that, do I have a motion to approve the resolution as presented that the applicant has agreed to and move it forward?
Motion by Tim.
Motion by Tim, seconded by
Adrian.
Adrian. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Jim DeLucia.
Aye.
Doug Beats.
Aye.
Adrian Bellis. Ed Henry.
Aye. Okay, we're in the process getting that part 2 and 3 done, and we can move on forward to the next phase. What you gotta do? You're dismissed. I like saying that. You're dismissed. That's back to my military days. All right, take her easy, buddy. Okay, next item up is we have 4 applications. We have the continued special use permits. 0406-24, 407-24. Those are the 2 special use permits for the east and west solar project. And then we have the preliminary site plan, east and west, 0408, 0409. So come on up and tell us what you got going on. I have some documents that we've received. I'll add those to the record when we get to the public hearing portion. Good evening,
My name is Frank Ruffalo, Sky Solar.
Frank.
Emily from Lamella, civil engineers. Also invited Paul Rogers. At the last meeting, we introduced our fire and safety
Yes,
consultants, ESRG.
yes.
He's also from ESRG and is here tonight to help if any questions come up on
Perfect.
fire and operations. From the last meeting, the most significant thing we accomplished was we have agreement on a repositioning of the road.
Right.
Last meeting, we suggested we got started the discussions with our neighbor
Mhm.
and town staff. We completed that negotiation. We had agreed with New Energy on a land swap that allows us to move the road away from the residents.
Right.
Emily has a drawing here.
Yep.
I'm happy to talk about how we
Right.
primarily we're able to leave a significant buffer of trees starting at about 100 feet. At the
Yeah, not very far. Yeah.
And now it's down to about 30 feet down towards the bottom where we have to.
Right.
System.
And for the audience, I do have that on file and I'm going to enter it into the record. I have both letters, from both of you.
And to answer any questions, concerns.
Perfect.
Finish off and update all the plans.
Right.
accordingly, and
Perfect. You have seen the 4 resolutions that basically continue public hearing and table the application so we can do the part 2 and 3 of the seeker. You're okay with those? Okay, let's turn it over to staff.
Yeah, well, first of all, I would like to extend appreciation to Jonathan Orpin, who is the owner of the property. Jonathan is also president of New Energy Works, but he owns the property from, separate from New Energy Works. And, he has also, been kind enough to, send us a letter acknowledging that. He's out of the country right now. You wouldn't believe where he is, but that's neither here nor there. The other thing that I want to say is I thank Frank and Sky Solar for their willingness to find an alternative alignment to the best of their ability and in agreement with what New Energy Works is willing to give up.
Right.
So we have overcome that hurdle, I believe, and there were some other things that you will be entering into the records. It's all that, let it stand at that. But we're ready to continue this to the 7th and start addressing the seeker.
Okay. Augie?
I can't top what Ron just said, so.
Man, I tell you, he is the man. Tim?
Yeah, no, I'm happy with the new road realignment. It makes it easier for our vehicles.
Right.
Corners aren't as sharp anymore. It does give a little more buffer for the residents. So.
Perfect. Thank you. Lance?
I don't have anything additional at this time, but as referenced, it's our understanding that once they are able to, if able to, move forward from tonight, then revised plans addressing our comments, revised O&M plan, addressing staff and number of these comments, decommissioning plan and so on, would be provided for review. And
Right.
we'll take a look at it at that time.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, I'm going to start the public hearing portion by listing some of the things that we have received in the last month. Okay, first thing is I have a copy of 3 sheets from the MTOD provided by Lance. There has seemed to be a question last time from the residents of whether or not the road was initially on the MTOD. And these 3 maps show the roadway on there from 10 to 14 and then updated on 2017 to show the complete movement of the road of Commercial Drive, as well as the side drive or side road potentially that goes over to East Corporate. So that those were provided by Lance. There was also a question to Jonathan Orpin of New Energy Works. How many trucks per month do you expect? And he said roughly 15 trucks per month is what New Energy Works expects to use the road. We then got a letter on the town supervisor got a letter April 27th from many residents that showed your concerns and have all the signatures, and that'll go in the record. That's been provided to all members of the board, of the planning board as well. We also got an email, or the town supervisor got an email from Lori Fox. And she's on Kennebec Court, and she had concerns as well. That will go in the record. Everyone has been apprised of that. I then have the 2 letters from New Energy Works and Sky Solar agreeing to the swapping of land to allow that road to be moved. And just so you know, that's the whole process we go through with state environmental quality review. We attempt to mitigate situations. And in this case, we, the town, had no authority to do anything. So we asked the owners of the 2 properties to see if they could work out a deal to move the road, and they did. So it was a great win. We're very happy about that. Hopefully the residents are less unhappy with the road being moved. We had another letter from Sky Solar to me requesting or providing some responses to concerns at the last meeting. Talks about, energy storage, fire mitigation, electromagnetic fields, property values, and electromagnetic hypersensitivity. I assume those are, if they're not on the website, they will be on the website. That letter from you guys did a great job. I appreciate it very much. And with that are the two maps that you see up there, basically, that show the movement and the swapping of the land and that type of thing. So I wanted to do that. Pass that down to John, if you will. Okay. Now we come to the public hearing part of this. So as we did the last time, I'm going to ask you to stay to 3 minutes, if you would. We have a lot of things on the agenda tonight. We'll try to hold it. We'll take it. And again, the biggest important piece right now, you can give us any information you want, but it's about the environmental record, because we're about to, unless something weird comes up, send staff away to do the part 2 and 3 of the environmental record. So with that, I will take questions from the audience or input from the audience in the public hearing. Who would like to speak first? Start right over here. Name, address.
Jeff Stevens, 6031 Brookfield Drive.
Okay.
On the new map, they say there's questions on.
Can question me while
Sorry.
refer to them.
At the slope, basically, of the southern radius of the new road. The existing woods that is now gonna be left there is around 60 feet to the primary property lines of the residents of Redfield Drive.
Okay.
What we're gonna do is maintain that. There's, looks like there's a very, very sharp slope at that radius of the road. And we're wondering if we could possibly either stake it or sign it in some way before they harvest all the woods out of that area for the roads, that 60 feet are maintained. Try to maintain the density as much as possible of that wooded area. It is gonna be there.
I don't think the planning board has any real desire to remove any more than we have to create the road. I don't think the applicant does either. Yeah,
But just
the concept is to retain as much as we can, as long as it's viable and the rest. But that'll be part of the site plan, absolutely.
okay, it's just a concern as far as.
Absolutely, that's a great concern, for
When
sure.
they start coming in harvesting wood, then
I understand.
basically.
We're not gonna clear cut.
You can lose cut. I
We're
mean.
not gonna clear. No, that's not gonna happen.
I think, slip a second question.
Okay,
On the map, basically, you have a line that for the limit of destination of disturbance, I'm sorry. And running north and south, that line stays pretty much on the western side of the property lines all along Redfield Drive. Until you get halfway down, all of a sudden it starts going into the properties, the private properties of the residents of Redfield.
I'm gonna guess
Why
it's
that
just a
happened.
mistake.
I think that was from the original layout where we were using that 10 feet easement area. There will be no disturbance anywhere near the properties, as you can see, as the trees are being left for approximately 100 feet, almost the entire way down. I also would like to make one comment on the previous comment.
Go ahead.
When they go out to start construction, that's when you're concerned about needing it staked, that they will do that. They will lay out where they are supposed to clear with like survey equipment, so they know where they're supposed to clear and stay inside that zone. So that's just standard practice.
So that basically that tree line, what's that, where the line of disturbances. Actually, right now, you're actually got it on property line, if it's private property. And it goes all the way over to, into the retention
This
pond. that's
would
owned by
be
the South-
revised to follow this,
Okay, so you're gonna bring it in line with the rest of them.
yeah.
Okay,
That's all I got. Thank you.
okay, thanks. All right, next one up. Who wants to speak? Yes, ma'am. Name and address, please.
Sue Willard, 6011 Redfield.
Hey, you're on the clock.
While I appreciate that you've taken time, Sky Solar and the safety company at the last meeting, I kind of take what they say with a grain of salt because they're profiting from it. And everything I've read says that solar farms should be located 1.2 to 1.5 miles away from residents, and clearly this is not.
Okay,
And I would like to know if you have anybody who's a doctor or in the medical field who will talk about this with us to ensure that there's not going to be an issue. I'm sure you remember, well, you would remember, you probably wouldn't, but like Love Canal, right? And that was an environmental thing that nobody knew when they first dumped the chemicals there, that it was gonna cause a problem. We have, material that's toxic in the panels. We have the batteries.
very little in the past.
Regardless. And then we have, the weather we've had lately. I mean, how often are you checking the panels? I have a lot of concerns, and I'd really like to hear from somebody who's a doctor or some kind of medical field, credentials in the medical field. I did try to contact the Department of Health for Ontario County, I believe her name is, and no response, so.
Well, I can tell you that New York State has looked at it extensively. With a number of things. I don't think we've ever used a medical expert, have we, Ron? I don't think we've ever used a medical expert as part of our state environmental quality review, because, I mean, let's be honest, solar is the hottest thing for the state right now. We're pushing everything. But certainly if you have any specific articles that we could, I mean, we certainly look as well, but if you have certain articles that that show concern for your stuff, send them to us. Email them to the staff. They'll get them to us and we'll make it part of our environmental review.
And, all the studies I've seen done by solar companies, which is like having the facts watch the Hendricks, right?
Very common.
So, I would not trust a pharmaceutical company to tell me drugs are safe. It's the same kind of thing.
I understand. Okay, next person that would like to speak. One up front here, name and address.
Berna Cowley, 1098 County Road 8.
Okay, you're on the clock.
In reference to the solar, this is the first meeting I've attended.
Okay.
I was at a picnic where one of the persons does inspections on solar farms or whatever you call them. And he said that when they went in to do their inspections, they had to wear tie-up suits, goggles, headgear, and everything. And that was, well, I don't know. And he said they had chain link fences with barbed wires around them at the top and everything so that people cannot get into the solar area where there could be any issues. I don't know about that.
I can address the chain link.
Go ahead and address the
Chain link fence is a safety measure. It is an electrical device that's just much like transformers or substations. In the town. It is a safety because it is an electrical.
Well, he said the
device.
heat that's generated from these panels is like overwhelming. And then my other question do we have a solar farm already in Farmington?
Yes.
And is that going to be similar to what this is? Or is it
Much
two
larger.
separate?
It's much larger.
It's much.
What I can tell, Ron, you wanna compare, well, yours is how many megawatt?
Combined, it'll be 1.5.
1.5, and the one we just did was over 5, right?
I was gonna say over 7.
Yeah, it was over 7, this is gonna be 1.5, so it's a fraction of the size.
This is the fraction of.
This is a fraction of the size. This one will have, battery storage, which has fire suppression in it. The other one doesn't have battery storage. There's battery storage at the RG&E substation down the road, a mile from us, basically. So, yeah, this is not something new for our
Okay,
town.
and then my one other question is, I tried to start following board meetings more carefully. And I'm wondering, is it the planning board, the zoning board, or the town board that offers up incentive zoning to developers?
Town board is the only one that can do
The
that.
town board does that, okay.
Town board is the only one that can do zoning. And this one is not incentive zoning.
Well, I know, but it sounds like at some point they're offered up incentive zoning.
It's not.
Like you wash my hand, I'll wash
No,
your hand.
It's
We'll
not
let
incentive
them know.
zoning in any way, shape, or fashion. This area is zoned special use permit for solar. It's not incentive zoning in any way, shape, or fashion.
Okay, so there's actual vacant property out there in Farmington that's already zoned, incentive zoning? It's
No.
already zoned that way?
Not big, yeah.
So then when does it become zoned incentive zoning?
When somebody comes to the town board and asks them to incentive zone it.
Oh, okay,
And then the town board and the applicant arm wrestle over what incentives there will be, just like what happened in that subdivision. And that's where that came from, but this area is not. This one is just a straight up
but there's no,
zoned with special use permit for solar.
but there's nothing to stop this particular project from getting to the town board and the town board being wishy-washy about it. And,
There's no
and
reason.
he says,
They're gonna put solar on it. Solar is authorized.
okay. I was just wondering, because it sounds to me like dirty politics. It sounds like if you give us 5 acres or a half an acre of your development and turn it into a park, or if you'll pay thousands of dollars for sidewalks in some other neighborhood, then we will let you, as a developer, do what you want to do.
That's what the state of New York allowed for incentive.
And that's what I'm saying. It sounds like dirty politics.
It's not dirty politics. It's authorized by the state of New York.
Okay.
And this is not, one of them had nothing to do with it, so. Okay, next item up. Next person up. Who wants to speak? Over here, sir. Name and address, please.
Leslie Raymond, 6010 Redfield.
Okay, you're on the clock. Okay, go ahead.
How close is the road to the first unit on Redfield Drive?
I gotta
The
let
lot
them
line,
answer.
from the
Let
lot
them
line
answer.
to the road.
The most southern one.
Yeah.
The measurement that's on this plan is not at the very southern corner of the property line, it's about in the middle, and it is about 80 feet from there.
80 feet in their lot
Yeah,
line.
road.
Their lot is how big there?
I don't know what their lot size is.
All right, thank
That's
you.
where the road was going.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. All right, hey, next item, next person up, who wants to speak for or against?
Hi,
Go
Lorraine
ahead.
McConnell, 6012 Redfield.
Okay, you're on the clock, go
Is
ahead.
this map the road, okay, where the road is that how close it's gonna be, or is it gonna be further away? I couldn't hear the
That
young
is
lady
the
when
road.
she was talking. Okay, so,
That's the new road,
okay,
correct?
so where did it go from? Before it was 20 feet and now it's 40 feet?
Very close to the property.
I have the drawing of it, all the
Oh.
original drawing is there.
Oh,
It
okay.
was coming straight up through here and then making a hard turn. and a hard turn.
Okay, okay, so you angled it,
It's gone quite a lot, well,
okay. All right.
it's not gone as far as you guys initially wanted it to go.
Right,
But it's gone a significant amount
Right.
from where it was.
right. Okay. so-
And we still kept the curve, which is really important because that's a traffic calming device. But we want the curve in there to keep
Slow.
from having to be a racetrack.
It looks like the is not as deep as it was before, or wide. Well, deep, I don't know the terminology. It looks like it's not as curvy, which
No, it's
I
not.
think is
No, it's
safer
Yeah.
for the people that are driving, because it's pretty, you know.
Sometimes we like that because it calms people down or forces them to calm down, because if you don't, you put straight roads in there, Tim will tell you, it becomes a drag strip.
Oh, I know.
You don't want it.
Okay, all right.
Thank you very much. Okay, again, this is a public hearing. Anyone want to speak? Yeah, I will online. Let me check online first before I go back to you, sir. Anybody online like to speak, for this project or against it? Anyone online like to speak for or against this project?
Hello.
Hello, name and address,
Hi.
please.
Hi, my name is Jeff Hutchinson, and I'm with the partnership that owns property immediately to the south of this proposed project.
Okay, you're on the clock. Go ahead.
I have submitted a letter to the town clerk today. I'm sure it probably didn't get to you folks in time. I'm actually in California. I had a quick question regarding process. The new roadway alignment and site plan that's being shown here, is that what is subject to the comment now, and the next set of comments will only be related to the CEQA impacts? Or is there going to be another hearing where final approval where people can discuss concerns with what will be the new subdivision plan?
Well, this is the discussion about whatever people want to talk about, but this is the discussions that will lead to the completion of parts 2 and 3 of the State Environmental Quality Review Act. So that will take place, if all goes well, at the next meeting. And at that point, then we'll get into the special use permit and the preliminary site plan. And we'll go through that. That will keep the public hearing open. Once we want to complete the special use permit or the preliminary site plan, we have to close the public hearing, and then the public will not be able to comment on the project any longer until, until it goes to final. So that's the process.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. So I think that my letter will go in today, and I can probably address some of my concern in the letter at subsequent hearings then.
Okay, we'll take it under advisement as part of our environmental record, and as well as moving forward to the special use permit and preliminary site plan. Okay? Thanks. Okay, anyone else online want to speak for or against this project? Okay, we got one here still wants to speak. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Jeff Stevens, 6031.
Okay, Jeff.
On the first series of maps that you had, or basically you showed retention ponds.
Yes.
And the outspill of the retention ponds. This basically map does not show that at all. I'm just wondering if they have been changed, relocated.
I'll let Lance answer that one.
So, and by all means, correct me where I'm wrong, but the purpose of this map was simply just to show the realignment of the road.
Okay.
What's yet to come is everything that we saw before, the solar fields, the stormwater facilities. Nothing from what you saw before has changed significantly enough yet.
Okay.
And some of that stuff may change as a result of the applicant addressing our comments today, but nobody's seen those plans yet.
Okay.
So earlier tonight, I referenced that the next step would be, assuming the road alignment works for the board and town and residents, then they would likely revise the plans, resubmit those to the town, which we would all have an opportunity to look at and comment on it at the next meeting.
Okay.
Or whenever it
I'm
gets.
just comparing the two. And I see that it's still.
I think the goal was to try to, I can't speak for them, but typically they didn't want to do all the changes to the plans if it wasn't going to go anywhere. They wanted to show the road, which was, for the most part, one of the more important items to figure out. So that's what they've been working on. Again, correct me if I'm wrong.
Let's let Emily answer that.
So what you're looking at when you're looking at the book of the whole package of sheets is the actual plan set. This is not part of the plan set. It's just a figure that uses parts of the plan set, as Lance was saying, because the road's been such a hot topic and we've moved it several times. It's not, until it was approved, it doesn't make sense to redo the drainage every time we're changing the iteration and then having to change it again and again. So we're waiting to get the final road layout that dictates all the stormwater. To answer your question though about the one that you don't see on here anymore, the one's up here still, that's not changed. The one that was over here is just moving closer to the road, because you don't want to fight the road. So it's the same size, it's just moving over. That work is done. No one's here seen it, like Lance said, we've been working on the comments. And we'll have a full set of plans resubmitted, that will show the updated stormwater and the updated grading and updated roadway, the whole 9 yards for the next meeting.
And just a reminder, because of the way that the current, SWIP, is the right word, I guess, works, we cannot allow this project to go forward if it's gonna put any additional water off the property. The water will be less or the same coming off this property after this project than it is now. So that's part of the rules, and that's why we hire Lance to keep us in line, okay? Okay, any other comments in the room? Okay. Ron, go ahead.
Is there anything that the applicant, the engineer, or his consultant would like to enter into the record?
Sure. Yeah, you guys wanna add any additional comments? I mean, I know we have a suppressed, storage area, which is great. I didn't know they even made them. So I think that's great. So you guys wanna enter anything in? Okay. All right, so we have, well, let me ask the board. Anybody have any comments or questions?
I do sound it on.
Okay, single good. So what we have now are 4 resolutions, 2 for the special use permits and 2 for the preliminary site plan. And I'll read the one, be it further resolved, that basically says that the planning board does hereby request this town staff to prepare a draft resolution for the board review and acceptance as provided under the provisions of the local, I got the wrong one. Do the, oh, I'm sorry, I just circled the wrong one. Allow town staff time to review the information in tonight's public hearing and to prepare parts 2 and 3. So we're pushing this to August 7th for the, review of the environmental record. Now, the environmental record is a form part 2 and 3, which is pretty complex, but not that hard to understand. When we have that as part of the next meeting, that will also be put on the website, correct? So that you can look at that environmental record, part 2 and 3, and if we have somehow got something wrong, you can bring it to our attention. We'll take a look at it. So it's very important. This is an important phase, and that's why we take the concept of mitigation so seriously. And that's why we're very happy to have the landowners, the 2 landowners work together to mitigate some of the roadway issues that you guys have. So with that, do I have a motion by someone to approve all 4 resolutions, block them and approve them, and move forward?
So moved.
Moved by Adrian, seconded by Doug. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote on all 4.
DeLucia.
Aye.
Bill Beats.
Aye.
Adrian Bellis.
Aye.
Ed Henninger.
Aye, okay. So it's August 7th. We'll be looking at the environmental record, part 2 and 3. Okay, thank you for coming tonight. We appreciate it very much. Okay, next item up. Thanks, guys, appreciate it. We have PB 0702-24, 1816 Quaker Meeting House Museum, preliminary site plan. Come on up, tell us what's going on. Huh? And special use, I'm sorry. I just didn't read far enough.
Thank you.
Where did my Quaker Meeting House guy get?
Yeah, they were.
All right, go ahead and move on out, guys, and then close the door behind you so we can, oh, I guess over there. Thanks, Emily. See you later.
Yeah, they're coming. Augie's getting them.
All right, we gotta wait a couple minutes and, take a little break and allow my voice to calm down. Might as well move right to the podium then. You're the man, you're the man.
All right, I'm sorry. My name is Link Sweetrock with BME Associates. Dave Burnix is here with me from the Quaker Meeting House as well.
Yep,
Which, I'm sure you've seen this, we've seen this before a couple times, so we're back,
yep,
tonight we're requesting a special use permit and a preliminary site plan, review for the existing relocated Quaker Meeting House.
right.
Property is located 230 Sheldon Road. It's on 4.05 acres. Within the AR 80 agricultural zoning district. It was moved across the road in 2011. We're proposing to add parking lot, pedestrian access drives to the museum, as well as a 785 square foot building addition. The building addition is consistent with the original addition that was existed on the building. The proposed parking area includes 20 parking spaces, 2 access locations to Sheldon Road, and includes 88 parking spaces and solar light fixtures. The pedestrian access to the museum is proposed with an accessible walkway and a seating area, and the existing structure meets all of the setbacks of the A80 zoning district. We're not proposing any utilities at this time. It's just going to be continue to operate as it is. The big thing that they're looking to do is they have approvals to do exterior building improvements to this
Right.
and the parking area. So that's what they have funding for. That's what they are looking for approvals to move forward with. At this time, we understand that, you know, at some point when they want to put a bathroom in and do the building addition, it's going to be down the road, that they would have to come back and get approval for a water service and septic system. But they don't have the funds to do that this time. So
I understand.
what we're trying to do is just keep moving along, be able to keep going with what they can do right now, which is try to keep the building safe, you know, keep the exterior up to snuff. So that
Right.
it's not, you know, it's not deteriorating, I guess is the best way to put it.
Okay,
And the parking area, we had the millions delivered as part of the County Road 8, so
right.
we had those done. We did a plan at that time, just sort of to figure out where the parking area is. This plan that you're seeing is consistent with that parking plan. We've been to county planning. We went to county planning, we discussed their comments with them and seen any showstoppers there. Lance's comments today, I don't think there's no issues with working to address those. And then I think, you know, the big thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about was just those couple of conditions.
Right.
To make sure that they can,
Right.
do what they need to do to keep them moving along, but also make sure that in the future, we're giving you what you need, you know, for the building addition.
Perfect.
And utilities, right?
Okay, turn it over to Dan, Ron.
Yeah, the museum.
signed and approved at this time. So we just want to focus on the parking area
Right.
and the exterior improvements.
Right.
To the 1816 building,
Right.
Just
the meeting
For
house.
the museum.
Well, it was called the meeting house. It wasn't called a museum.
Right.
I.
Museum of the
I
Meeting
don't want
House.
to mix apples and oranges. Okay.
Meeting house, museum.
Okay.
So what we are being asked to approve based on this amendment that you haven't talked about yet, is taking the shell off of that building that's up there and structurally starting to stabilize that building. What's going to happen here?
Roofing,
Roofing, siding, the building's been stabilized for the move, but it wasn't, the structure work they did wasn't permanent structural work, so they'll be putting the right beams, studs and everything in the right place, put the windows back in the right locations. When Jack Van Laer moved the building, turned it into a barn, he repositioned a lot of the windows. We put all the doors back on where they're supposed to be. So take out all of the stabilization that the moving company and build it correct.
And it will be built in accordance with the plans
That I sent you?
that you sent that have been approved by the national park.
Yes.
And I'm gonna leave this part to Augie as to what our role is here in issuing any building permits.
Yeah, I got a bunch of questions for Augie too.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead, Augie, tell us what's going on, and then I'll ask a couple questions directly.
So, I don't have any huge objections to, links for email request.
Okay,
Ultimately, from a permitting process, the existing meeting house, museum structure that's out there right now will not be permitted to meet current code standards. So that is being
Right.
approved by the federal government to meet the state and the state government, I guess, state and federal government to meet their regulations for a historic building. The addition, at whatever point they get to, that will be ultimately regulated by us and New York State code for current code standards. So we will still permit the structural work they're doing. We will still take those plans and add that plan into a permit application. And we will be inspecting it to that standard that's been approved by the state or national parks.
right. But if, well, let me just ask the point blank question. The building, when it's rehabbed as it is, will not be authorized to have any meetings in it because it's not, doesn't meet code, correct?
No. So if the state and national parks, if it's designed, done to their plan, then it's open, it can be open to the.
It's open, so they can have, even though they don't have utilities in there, they can still have whatever they want. Because the state and the feds have
within
said,
reason,
yay,
yes.
very. Okay, all right, that's what I wanted to know. I mean,
It's a museum. It's a museum and it's part of the historic trail of, so that it's,
Yeah,
you know.
okay.
it's Part of a stop.
Learn something new every day. Okay, so you're good there. Okay, anything else, Augie?
That's all I got.
Oh, I did want to say, does the parking of 20 vehicles meet the code?
I don't have an answer for you on that.
We need to look at that, because if not, then we just need to show some bank parking. Heaven forbid that, you know, you got enough space, you
I
can.
don't know what the code requirements for.
I don't know what it is either, but
I don't know if there is a,
it
that's,
probably is.
that's just what they're anticipating.
I understand, but
So
we
I'll
need
dive
to
in,
look at it.
I'll dive into that tomorrow, and then whatever it is, I'll drop you an email.
And it's not a big deal, because if you don't have the parking, just bank some space somewhere, you got enough space there to just bank it, and it can be built later, heaven forbid. Becomes, hottest thing on the historic trail, then you gotta add some more spots. You never know. Tim, or anything else, Augie?
Nope, I'm all set.
Tim?
No, I've been working with Dave on the driveways and the permits, so I am all set there.
Perfect. Lance?
No, as mentioned, we did complete our comments July fifth, and for whatever reason, I apologize, Link, they didn't make their way to you, so. I apologize for the late notice, but I think they're pretty minor in nature, and I would imagine they wouldn't be an issue to address.
Okay. All right, this is the public hearing. Do I have anyone here to speak on or behalf of this project? Anyone to speak for or against it? Anyone like to speak for or against it online? Anyone else? Okay, so what we have is we have a preliminary site plan and a special use permit. But we wanted to make some changes to it. So what needs to be changed here, Link?
Where do you want, which one do you want to start with? The special use permit or the site plan?
Start with the special use.
I think the special use permit, the only question I had, I didn't have in my email, was, number 4. It just says there should be no parking allowed along the frontages of County Road 8 or Sheldon Road associated with any future planned public events. I just didn't want that to get confused for our parking lot being in the frontage, so.
I don't think that's talked about road.
Road.
That's road parking.
We're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. We don't want anybody parking.
No, no, no.
Just didn't want anybody, we're sort of parking. in the
Yep.
frontage, so
Okay.
Just wanted to.
So that one's okay with you.
That one, I think we're good with. Yep.
Okay, so do I have a motion to approve the resolution for a special use permit? And now this doesn't close the public hearing yet, right? Oh, yeah, this would close the public hearing because the subdivision or the preliminary isn't,
They both,
yeah.
they
they're
both
public
were,
hearings. So we're gonna do them both anyway, so we'll close the public hearing.
you can close the public hearing on the special use, because you're gonna grant it.
Okay, we'll close the public hearing on a special use permit and approve the resolution. Moved by Adrian, seconded by Doug. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
This is on the special use.
Special use permit.
And the public hearing's been closed
Yep,
on the special use.
yep. This is PB 0703-24.
And DeLucia?
Aye.
Gonzalez?
Aye.
Gonzalez? And Henry.
Aye, okay, that one's done. All right, tell me what we need to change on the PB 0702, which is the preliminary site plan application for the Quaker Meeting House Museum.
All right, on 12, we just thought if we're not doing water and sewer, we probably don't need the water and sewer superintendent's signature. That's what we want. Anyways,
Right, if you're not gonna do that,
we don't, and then
So we're gonna take out the town acting water and sewer superintendent. What else?
13 is all about the perks and the on-site wastewater treatment.
You take 13 out completely,
I think so.
okay? What else you got?
And 14, I just want to sort of clarify what we're talking.
Ron?
The applicants for the final site plan to provide elevations of both the meeting house structure and the museum addition, the museum structure.
Which I assume that's the additional building.
Right, and I'm not gonna have building plans for that.
Right.
We've already provided you the building plans for the meeting house structure, so can we just not give you the addition?
yeah, we wouldn't be obligated to grant preliminary, our
No.
final approval for the addition anyway.
Oh, because we haven't seen it yet, so we can just kill 14 then?
I wouldn't do it.
Cross off the addition.
Cross off the addition
Museum structure,
and the proposed museum structure, okay? Anything else?
and then the.
Detailed will need for the museum structure provided to tone.
Yeah, I'm just wanted to, I think those are maybe redundant or, or I mean, we're gonna provide you the detailed plans on the museum. I just don't wanna get hung up on the addition.
Right,
So,
okay.
Yeah,
I think we're good.
right.
is that right?
You got those changes?
Review them once more.
Okay, we're gonna, on item 12, we're taking out town acting waters and sewer superintendent.
Yep.
Right.
13's being axed
Well,
Completely.
completely. 13 is. And 14, we're just taking out the last after structure and the proposed museum structure, we're taking that out.
So it ends in 1816 Quaker Meeting House structure.
Period.
Period.
Yep,
Got it?
that's the changes. So I have a resolution approved by the applicant and we all kind of agreed. So do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve this resolution with conditions? Just a second, we got something else.
On 15, do we want to just change the detailed buildings plans will be, need to be prepared for the, instead of museum structure, the Quaker Meeting House structure?
Take museum structure,
Make it meeting house.
and make it the 1816 Quaker Meeting House structure. Got that? Huh? Okay. All right, with those changes to the conditions, do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve it with edited conditions? Oh, and close the public hearing. Do I have a motion? Moved by Adrian, seconded by.
Yeah.
Tim, any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote.
This is to close the public hearing.
Close public hearing and approve that resolution
as amended.
with the change.
Resolution.
Aye.
Fabian.
Aye.
Adrian Velez.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Got it.
Thank you.
You got it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Yep. You too. Yep. Okay, now we got PB. Now, these aren't public hearings. This is PB 0701-24. This is the Potter's final subdivision. Yes, ma'am. You've done everything? Everything is done. Let's do this quick. Ron, anything?
You got the resolution?
Yep. Augie?
What's up?
Tim? Lance? Okay, we have a resolution with 3 tiny conditions. We're good to go. Do I have a motion to waive the reading at once? Anybody got any questions? I didn't figure we did. Do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve the resolution as presented? Motion by Tim, seconded by Adrian. Any other comments? Clerk take a roll call vote, please.
Bishop. Pete. Adrian Velez. And Henry.
Aye, you're good to go. All right. You can ask any question you'd like.
That's up to you.
The answer
I think
is,
it's already,
have you already got them ready to sign?
I think so. I'll call you tomorrow morning.
He'll call me in the morning, I'll sign them, they'll be ready to go. Because I assume it's just got my signature.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
So the answer is, we'll work it out. I don't know, we'll work it out.
I'll double check tonight before I leave and I'll get it squared away. Say 1 o'clock. Give me a couple hours.
Every time you ask what time, it goes an hour later, you know? I think I'd stop at.
Honey, Augie's a firefighter, he's gotta have his coffee first.
Yeah.
Come on.
We have our meeting in the morning.
All right,
I will be there.
thank you guys very much. All right, it's taken us so long to do this. We're getting there, little at a time.
I'll bring you back.
Thank you, see you guys later. Okay, next item up is the Hollander final re-subdivision. Please do. Okay, I want to do both the final re-subdivision and the preliminary site plan. Get them both on the, any basic changes from the last time we talked about them?
Very basic. We're working with Ron on the subdivision changes, affects mainly the plat scale.
Yep,
So we'll get that worked out and turned around quickly.
okay,
And then on the site plan, very minor changes again, mostly title block changes and,
Okay,
the details, we'll add those and we'll have them ready quickly.
okay, Ron,
No,
good to go?
I'm good to go with the resolution.
Okay,
Prepared.
Augie,
All set?
Tim, Lance,
I'm all set as well.
okay. You seen the resolutions, you're good?
Yeah.
Okay, now, I'm only gonna say one thing here. When you get this subdivision done, get it in, let me sign it, get it filed, and then I'll sign the preliminary site plan. Just wanna have a sequence there. It only has to be a day or whatever, but I wanna sign one, get it filed, get the information back to staff, and then we'll sign the preliminary, because we're kind of pushing this. Okay? Okay, with that, I have a, final re-subdivision plat, approval with conditions. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move.
Moved by Doug, seconded by? Any other comments? Or take a roll call vote, please.
DeLucia.
Aye.
Doug Beats.
Aye.
Ed Heffinger.
Aye. Okay, we got a preliminary final site plan. Oh, a preliminary site plan, not a preliminary final. Preliminary site plan with conditions. A motion to approve?
Move.
Moved by Doug, seconded by? Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
DeLucia.
Aye.
Doug Beats.
Aye.
Ed Heffinger.
Aye, good to go. All right. Okay, now we'll move over to Creekwood. Right? Oh, there was something in the middle there, something else I missed. Did I miss it?
The final subdivision plan for, Pintail.
He's just going all at once.
Oh, yeah, I had a pintail. Where did I do with that?
It's between the two De Hollander ones.
Oh, it's been right here in front of me. Okay, so I have the 0706-24. Pintail Crossing Final Two Lot Subdivision Plat. Big changes? What's happening here?
We're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
Ron,
We're good.
Augie,
Good.
Tim, Lance,
Nothing else.
audience, board?
Took a while to get here.
You're okay with the condition?
Yes, I had a question as it related, and this may not be for the board, it might be more for staff, to talk about it PRC, but just the sequence of dedication. When we file the map, we'll have created the parcel of land that's going to be the right of way, but obviously the road
Yes.
is not dedicated. So as long as everyone's fine with that sequence, we'll work through it with staff like we normally do.
Yep.
Just wanted to make sure that that was everybody's understanding of how that's gonna happen.
My understanding, we're good.
We dedicated and like we do everything else.
All right, with that, do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve PB 0706-24? Motion by Tim, seconded by? Doug, any other comments? We'll take a roll call vote, please.
DeLucia.
Aye.
Doug Beats.
Aye.
Adrian Bellis.
Aye.
Ed Heffinger.
Aye. Okay, now we got PB 0707, that's the phase 2 preliminary site plan.
Sir?
Couple of minor conditions of approval. Good to go?
Yes. We've received comments from the MRB group.
Yep.
I don't know if there are any, we haven't had a chance to respond to them, but I've had a chance to review them all. I don't anticipate any issues there. They're very straightforward. Were there any that the board wanted to discuss?
Not that I know of. Anybody have anything to discuss? I think we're good there.
Okay, then it's under consideration for approval. I have no questions or comments.
Okay, let's talk to staff, see what staff said. Ron, you okay?
Yeah, I guess I'm okay. I thought we were going to maybe,
Yeah, I thought we were too, but I figured if the only thing we're talking about are MRB comments, they can work that out together.
And if there are any outstanding staff comments, we'll.
Yeah, unless I have something that staff tells me that gonna put a hold on it, don't think the board's got any.
I may have some more to file. I mean, I think some of the stuff that Lance
Right.
touched on, it was just kind of cleaning up some of the drafting on the drawings, understanding a little better exactly some of the layouts.
Right.
The number of items per per unit was something I wanted to look at to see.
Yeah, so I can talk about that a little bit. So, the vast majority, I think it's 70% have two-car garages as well as double driveways. So we're talking up to 4 vehicles. And none of the units are 4-bedroom. They're all 3-bedroom or lower.
In what world are you living in?
Don't anticipate one.
Because the garage will be filled with stuff. Come on, don't give me that.
They have, my understanding, and I'll clarify at final, is that each of the units, has basements as well. Is what they're anticipating.
Okay, still means they're gonna fill the garage full of stuff. That's okay. Maybe after this hailstorm, maybe they won't.
Be that as it may, you'll notice on the plans that we have added additional parking. We've
Excellent.
changed the driveways for the unit in the middle of the road to have rear loading driveways, so they're not on the main road. So I think we've
Good.
addressed the comments that we heard from the planning board through the concept phase.
Parking.
And again, if there are any staff comments, we're happy to address those at final, and you'll have responses in writing to all the MRP comments.
You can probably anticipate more discussion on final, because we want to get this thing rolling, but, you know, we're gonna look at it really hard, so. Ron, anything else?
No.
Augie?
All set.
Tim? Lance, I know you got a bunch of stuff, but.
No, I think, honestly, most of it is it's just clarification on some of the site plan. That was half, and then the rest of them are standard, like stormwater clarification comments, which this project has. It's been a long time with the stormwater, so we're just trying to make sure that some of it's all been wrapped up and addressed. So I don't have any issue with the board moving forward.
Okay,
And Mr. Chairman, if there are comments, we'd like to get them in the next week or so. If you said there might be some comments, so if there are things
Got it.
outstanding that we can address
we'll look at
in
it.
advance of final, we'd love to hear.
We like that. I agree. Adrian?
No, I mean, for now, again, I think, the concept is kind of there. I think most of the stuff is there. I think again, addressing a lot of the MRB stuff, a lot of questions I probably have. And yeah, I think it was very good.
Okay. All right, Tim? Okay. No other comments? Got a resolution with a couple conditions. Do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve the resolution? Moved by Doug, seconded by
Adrian?
Adrian. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call.
Lucia.
Aye.
Doug Beats.
Aye.
Adrian Dallas. Ed Henson.
Aye, good to go.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, take it easy. Sorry you had to sit through all the other stuff.
That's okay.
Right in the white box.
Oh, yeah, take it. Okay, next item up, I've got a couple other board actions, Western New York Flex Space and Country Max, letter of credits. We're good?
I forgot, I was to send something in, but that final letter of credit release for Flex Space. Wasn't he, I know he's got the fence around the backside, but wasn't he supposed to put a fence or
Nope.
across the front, or did that changed?
Wasn't on the site plan.
That changed.
So everything's tied up with those? Everybody signed off, signed, sealed, delivered? Do I have a motion to block these two and approve them? Motion by Tim, seconded by Doug. Any other comments? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, we're approved. Open discussion, Ron.
Related to this last, application that we had here for Creekwood.
Yeah.
Town has been notified that we have been awarded a grant to reconstruct Wood Bridge
Right.
over there, so we would like to try to, have everything come together next year so that when that bridge closes, this, detail will be completed. And I think.
I agree.
I think we're on the right track for that.
I like the right track.
The other thing is you may have seen some of the sidewalks are going in.
Yep.
We've got a little hiccup, with the trail going from 41 over to the Ogden Trail. Got to figure out how to redesign that. We've kind of gone on a couple of properties there that aren't built yet. We'll figure that solution out.
All right.
And then the only thing we're waiting on is the design for the pedestrian
Bridge.
bicycle bridge. It's very frustrating that they thought they had a provider and then they didn't have a provider. They backed out. So we're going to end up with a gap in the sidewalk along 41, but
Get it fixed.
we'll try to fix it as quickly as we can.
There you go.
There you go. Then the other
Hey,
thing,
just put a ramp on one side and a ramp on the other. We can do a little Evel Knievel thing.
there you go. You're holding my beer, watch this. The other thing is that the Park and Rec Committee started their first meeting.
Yep.
The second meeting is coming up here in August.
August 5th.
Adrian's our man.
Okay. That's good. The only other thing is town board is looking for the final draft of the local law for Whitestone, along with the
Right.
resolution for the amenities for that project.
Do they expect to start coming to us fairly quickly and get that thing rolling?
I don't know the answer to that.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I would think so, but who the hell knows?
Yeah.
And the town board is also actively pursuing Aaron's replacement.
Yes.
We
And
should have another member soon.
we hope to have another member. If this person takes the offer, it will be a good addition to.
Good. Okay. Anything else, Ron?
No.
Augie. Man,
I don't have anything to add for you.
okay. Tim,
Started our milling this week, should be done tomorrow. Paving in a
over
couple
in
weeks.
Belmont, right?
We did Belmont, Bridle Path, Dohaven Drive, Clover Meadow, and Sand Hill.
Nice.
So hopefully the weather cooperates and everything stays on schedule, but I know that isn't gonna work because it's not cooperating.
It never does. It never does. Anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
Lance.
Ron stole my thunder with the Parks and Recs. I really don't have anything additional to offer.
Okay, no conservation, no fire department. Planning board members, you guys got anything?
Nope. Just us.
Have anything?
I mean, I got a couple things, I'll just tell you at the end.
Okay. Anything, guys? I continue to work with staff when they need me to pop in, have a meeting, like in signing this thing, whatever's needed, I'll do what I can, so.
We've been working hard these
We're
last.
gonna be like a dog. That's why I got laryngitis.
Everybody will be here for the next meeting.
As far as I know, everybody's gonna be at the next meeting, 7th, right? Well, these three of us need to be there, right?
Yeah, I'll be here, I'll just double check.
As far as I know. All right, anybody have anything else? Motion to adjourn by Doug, seconded by Adrian. Any other comments? All in favor signify by saying aye. I got through it and